Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marta. I come from Norway and I love makeup. I love indie makeup and sparkly things especially. And today I'm going to do a new kind of video here on my channel that you've seen like everywhere else. I'm going to do a new makeup releases video, and this is of course inspired by Angelica, Nyqvist and Samantha and all the other smaller YouTubers that do this, like Amy Loves Makeup, Sophia's Outlet. And yeah, I'm just super excited to be doing this for the first time, and I hope that you will like it. I'm going to do from like the last few weeks the things that I've found interesting, so I'm not going to talk about everything. I'm just going to talk about the things that I find interesting, either like in a positive or a negative way, and talk about what I feel about those products, and I would love to hear what you feel about those products too. But let's just get started. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the new e.l.f. Putty Bronzer, and this one I'm actually really intrigued by. Like, you can see that there are a lot of different shades, which is so great. And I actually just used, for this look today, I used the Sol Body like bronzing balm, and it's very orangey. So I'm actually on the lookout for something that's more of like a contour cream and not just a bronzer cream. And I would love to try this out, but it's kind of hard to get a hold of these in Norway, so I hope that I will be able to find them somewhere, because I would love to try this actually, because I've been really into creams lately. Also, it says that it is a putty to powder formula with a semi-matte finish, gives skin a natural sun-kissed glow. It's highly pigmented, buildable color, smooths and evens out your complexion. Lightweight, enriched with moisturizing argan oil and vitamin E in 8 shades, $6 each. And that is so cheap. I'm definitely getting this if I can find it somewhere. Next release is an eyeshadow palette. I'm just going to take this like from the time that I saved them on Instagram. So the next one is the Laura Lee Los Angeles collection that is called Candy Skies. And it's a palette that costs $45, and there's 2 glosses that cost $16 each. And I think this is a cute collection, but it's not something we haven't seen before, you know. I feel like it's never gonna be something we haven't seen before anymore. And especially with pastels, I bought so many pastels last year. I bought from Terra Moons, I bought... oh, I don't even remember. I just know I got a lot of pastel singles, Lethal Cosmetics, and it's like I had a pastel moment and it went over quite fast, and now I still have and love my pastel singles because I love to use them in combination with deeper and more colorful shadows, but I'm not really interested in this palette, even though the shimmers actually look quite gorgeous. Yeah, but it's a cute palette. I'm sure a lot of people will make gorgeous looks with all of these shadows. The next product I'm going to talk about, or it's a collection actually, between Disney and Dose of Colors, and there's an eyeshadow and bronzer palette. Like, does this look like a bronzer? Like, it could work as a bronzer for me, but why would you put that in a palette? Like, this is like excluding everyone that's not white as me from buying this palette, because no one wants that. Like, sure, you can use it as a crease shade, but like even this shade will look so pale. It will be like a highlighting shade for deeper skin tones, so I feel like that is a super weird decision to do that. But I mean, the colors in the palette they're really cute. Like, you have some purple, you have a peachy light shade, again it's quite light, and then you have a black. So I mean, it's cute. It kind of reminds me of the Nabla Cutie palettes with like just these 6 shades. I guess the lipsticks are cute. I don't know, I'm not interested in this at all really, and especially because of that bronzer shade, it's just like it doesn't fit in there. So yeah, I think that's really shady that they make like a bronzer of that shade for a universal bronzer and eyeshadow palette. Okay, this next release I've actually already bought something from. It's BH Cosmetics' new travel palettes. It's the Paris and the Puerto Rico palette, and I already ordered the Paris palette, and they were $17 each, and I just bought it off of Beauty Bay because that's what's mostly available to me. And I just thought those purple shades in the Paris palette with that deeper teal, it's just, or is it a green, I'm not sure, I think it's a teal, and I love purple and teal together, and I just really like that palette, so I decided to get it. And like, it was kind of stupid because these will be on sale in a few weeks, I'm sure, and I was like thinking, okay, I'll order it and I can make a video on it, but I'm going away, so if this actually arrives early to me, I won't be here to even try it out when it arrives. But I'm still excited about it, and I'm glad I bought it because it looks really beautiful and the shimmers look pretty. But mostly it's the mattes I look at when I decide for a palette. But yeah, I actually bought this palette and I'm very excited about it. They do also have like this bronzer face palette. I'm not interested in that. I never buy like face palettes really. I can buy like a bronzer duo or a blush duo if I want, but not like a combination or just like bronzers. Like I will maybe be able to use one or two of these shadows or shades. Moving on to some other palettes from Nabla. They actually have released 2 new cutie palettes, and I've been so intrigued. Like, I've been so close to buying the other cutie palettes because they're really cheap on sale and they look really beautiful. And I know that Nabla has a very nice eyeshadow formula. I do have some singles from them, but I don't really use them that often. This blue one looks really beautiful. I would be interested in it, but it seems like it only has one true matte, like the deeper blue. And the lightest blue there that you can see, it looks like it's kind of like a slightly shimmery or satiny shade, which kind of takes away the excitement for me because I need some mattes, like just a deep and a lighter matte, and that would be fine. But I mean, it's cute, it's cute. And then the other one is just a neutral palette, so I'm not interested in that, although it looks really beautiful as well, and I'm sure anyone who buys it will make beautiful looks with it. Like, it's pretty. These are, by the way, going to be $24 each, so they're a little bit more expensive for just 6 shades, so that certainly makes me a little bit more hesitant to buy them. The next product I'm actually a little bit excited about, but not like very excited. It's a watermelon face polish by Fourth Ray Beauty. I've never tried anything from Fourth Ray Beauty, but it's basically Colourpop. So I'm thinking if I make an order from Colourpop in the future and I need something to fill my order, because I usually buy underneath that around $40 or something to avoid taxes, I might just add this one because I love watermelon. I just love the smell. Even if it's artificial, I like the smell of that. And I just think this is really cute. So I might actually be interested in buying this one, but I mean, it's not super exciting, but it just looks really cute because it even has those like black things that looks like seeds. So I think that's really, really cute. The next product is from Sol. So Sol is also a part of Colourpop, and I actually just bought the Sol Body foundation, but you can definitely see that this is not my shade. This is the lightest shade that they have in Fair 2. And what they're releasing now, it looks exactly like this, just as a bronzer instead. And I mean, as I said about the e.l.f. Putty bronzer, I'm really interested in cream products now. But I feel like these also look very warm, and especially like the lighter tones. Like, if you just put on a few lighter tones here, it would look like a foundation range, because this is not like it's a bronzer. I know that a bronzer is supposed to be like warm toned, but I don't like it that warm toned. I feel like it looks weird on me. Like, even now I'm using the bronzing balm from Sol Body for the first time, and it is also very orange, even though you can't really see it that well on camera here because it's a little bit light with my setting, but still it's like a little bit too orange, and it works. But I'm more so into like the contour colors, like cooler tones, because I'm very fair and it can look really weird on me if I wear very warm tones. But I mean, it's not a bad release, it's just I'm not gonna pick it up. And then Colourpop again has released something new. They have released 3 more cheek dews, which I actually have gotten several of, and this far I like them. I've heard some people saying that they separate, that they're not pigmented enough, but for me they were really pigmented. But again, like you can see my skin tone, I'm very fair, so most colors should look kind of pigmented on me. But the most exciting part of this release is the eyeshadow palette. It's a 12 pan palette and it's called Lush Life, I think, and it has those gorgeous blues and greens, and I really think this is a beautiful palette. Is it very special? No, I'm not going to purchase this immediately. Maybe in the future I will buy it when it's on sale, because they often do like sales where they have all their 12-pan palettes for $12 or something like that, or 30% off. Then I might be interested, but again, it's a lot of like neutrally warm tones here. I understand it for the palette, but I don't really need more palettes like that, and like in general I'm more excited about single shadows, so I don't think I'll be picking this up, maybe in the future, but I'm excited to see people use it because it is beautiful. And here's actually a brand that I have not tried yet. It is called Notoriously Morbid, and it's the Absinthe and Lace palette, and it contains 12 shades. And it says that each shade will also be available as a single, and the whole palette itself retails for $45, and it's going to be available, it's already available it says, and you can use the code RADAR15 for 15% off. Okay, so I'm not, like, it looks pretty, I'm just not that into I don't know, am I even into trying new indie brands right now? I feel like I already have so much makeup to play with that I'm not going to be interested in buying so much more. At least eyeshadow. But the swatches of these look really gorgeous, so I'll definitely keep an eye on this brand because they seem to be quite sparkly and very shifty, and I really like both the yellow, like there are kind of two yellows, one that is more green leaning and one that is more orange leaning, and I really like both of those. I like almost all the shimmers actually. They look really beautiful. And here we have something you probably heard about everywhere if you're on Instagram, like the Sugar Drizzle Polish multi-chrome eyeliners. They look so gorgeous on their promotional pics, but I've heard a lot of people being like, why don't you just use an eyeshadow? And I totally understand that, because as a liner, like, I feel like you won't really see the multichromeness too much, and I think even Angelica Nyqvist said in her video that you can like just put a black base and then draw on the eyeshadow or mix it with a liquid. I do that often, not so much lately, but I've done that so many times in the past, like just mix it with your glitter glue. I use my BH Cosmetics base booster for that, and I just mix the shadow with that, and then I can just paint it on as if I was using a liner. So I'm not going to pick this up, but I'm curious. I'm curious about what people are saying about this and how they feel about it when they actually try these, because I'm curious if you will actually see the shifts. Yeah, but it's an interesting release for sure. And then we have the Odins eye collection that we've seen everywhere as well, at least for me that follow all of these indie makeup lovers on YouTube and Instagram. I've seen the Odins eye collection a lot of places and I'm just not interested. I don't know what it is. I mean, I love like the brand or like the branding, like they have this ethereal looking packaging, and I really like the collections, like the themes of the collections that they have, but it's just none of the color stories really speak to me in like, oh, you need this. So I don't know. I mean, the palettes are pretty, and especially like the blue and orange one that reminds me of Electro Turquoise is really beautiful. But again, I have the Electro Turquoise palette by Kaleidos Makeup. I don't need this. And yeah, I mean, the palettes are pretty, but it's just not something I will be picking up. But I am hoping that maybe one day I will try Odin's Eye, because I'm just curious about them as a brand. And as a bigger brand, we have the new KKW Beauty Camo palette, which retails for $52. That's a bit pricey in my opinion, but the palette is very beautiful. But again, it's like I already have so many shades like this. I even have several palettes like this that are even more grungy and even more colorful. Like for example, the Glam Shop Camo palette is just so amazing. Like the shimmers are just mind-blowingly beautiful, and I'm sure that these shimmers are more regular shimmers and not like super shiny or super sparkly. Super sparkly. So although I can like appreciate this palette as being beautiful, and I'm sure a lot of people again will make beautiful looks with it, it's just not something I'm interested in picking up. So yeah. And then we have this collection from, what is it, Makeup Revolution. It's like hard to know which kind of Makeup Revolution brand there is, because you have the Revolution Pro, you have the Planet Revolution now. So many different ones. But this is their Bratz collection, and I loved the Bratz when I was smaller. Like, we played with Bratz all the time. I still have one of my Bratz dolls like stuffed in a drawer, like a super small drawer. It looks so creepy if anyone opens it. But I loved the Bratz, and if this was like a collection with colors that spoke to me, I probably might have gotten it, just because Makeup Revolution is so cheap. And I am kind of interested in trying their eyeshadow formula again, because I do have 2 palettes from them, and I didn't like the one of them, and the other one I still haven't used, even though I've had it for probably like 2 years now, so maybe I should just give it away. But I am kind of curious about the Makeup Revolution formula and how it has improved, or if it even has improved or not. But yeah, none of these palettes look like something I would be interested in having, and I'm not going to buy a palette just to try it out and then pass it on. I'm not in the financial state to do that right now. But yeah, if you like these colors, then go for it. Another release that actually excited me quite a bit, which I was really like, oh, this is so boring at first, it's the Jaclyn Hill new, what is it called? Boogie something? Yeah, the new blush collection. She has like all the kinds of blushes that you want, and the ones I'm interested in here, it's like, sure, the warm palette is really beautiful, but it's a little bit too pigmented, I think, for me with my fair skin tone. Like, sure, I could make it work, but I prefer something that's a little bit less pigmented. And also, I'm just so into cream now. I swear I bought like 20 cream blushes lately and I still haven't gotten them all. But here I am interested in the cream blushes, but I checked out the shipping, and the shipping was like $20, and that would leave me with taxes, and it's going to be like, how much for, I think it's 22, so it's going to be like 42 just for that, and then I have to pay 25% plus a $19 like handling fee. So no, I'm not going to buy this. But if it gets available, or if they suddenly release something else that I'm really intrigued about, then maybe I will pick it up in the future. But I think it's a really cool release because it's like all kinds of blushes that you might want. So either if you like powder, or if you like cream, or if you like, what even is it, like loose powder form? Yeah, there's something for everyone, and I like that. And I like that the colors are very inclusive, they're deeper, and there are some that are slightly lighter. So I think almost all of these shades could go on all skin tones. So yeah, I think that's a great release actually. This release is actually quite funny because it's from Glam. I've never tried that. I've heard that's like they can be a little bit so-so. They're really cheap. They're just $750 each, and they look like the colors, if you look at them, they're quite pretty. Like, I could see myself picking up a few of these, but I'm not going to do it just because I haven't heard about the formula or anything. But if people pick these up and they talk about it and they say that it's a good formula, maybe I will pick it up in the future. I just think the packaging here is so funny, like with the animals and the sunglasses. And yeah, I really like that purple and green palette. I really like the warm toned with green. It's actually quite similar to that Colourpop palette, the Lush Life one. And I also like the more grungy red and green one. Honestly, all of them are quite pretty. Oh, and here's another makeup release that I kind of really like. It's Unicorn Cosmetics new collection that is called, what is it called? Is it just called Angel? I think it's just called Angel. UC's, yeah, it's just called Angel. And it has this gorgeous palette with some grungy greens, and like you have that periwinkle purple, you have some other purples, you have pink, you have some peaches, you have some yellows. I think it's a beautiful palette, and I actually ordered their old Wicked palette, which is just so stunning, and I cannot wait to get it. It's going to come while I'm away, but I'm really excited to try it, and if I like it, maybe I will pick this up in the future. I'm not sure, but it's a beautiful collection, and they have some brushes, and yeah, the pricing is really nice. It's $42.31 US, so that is pretty nice. And they have so many mattes in the palette. There are 9 shimmers and 17 mattes. And you have these split pans. So I know some people, Gina, if you're watching this, I know you hate split pans, but I mean, I don't think it's the worst idea, especially since it's like the shimmers and I'm more excited about the mattes. So yeah, I'm not hating this. I think it's a cute palette. Another color story that is kind of a little bit in the same realm is the Michaela palette with Glam Light. And I think it's a pretty palette. It's almost a little bit of a rainbow palette. I like the colors. I like all of the colors. Like, you have a few neutrals there that I feel like the palette could have been without, but at the same time I understand that this is like supposed to be a palette for beginners and maybe people who are not too familiar with colors, and then it's really like nice and safe to have some neutrals there, which is probably also going to be, I mean, brands add neutrals because neutrals sell. It's like, no matter how much a small indie makeup lovers love color, it's just not what sells in the big market. So I think this is a good palette, and it's already been available for a while when I'm filming this. I'm filming this on the 25th, and it's been available since June 13th. And I'm betting that this has been doing very well because it is beautiful. But again, it's just not something I'd be interested in, even though I do see some beautiful colors there. But I did actually already dupe like the middle part there because another person that I follow on Instagram did that, and I was super inspired by that, and I did it myself, and I do have most of these colors already, so passing on this one. Next, I've also seen everywhere now, it's the new Temptalia with Sydney Grace collection, and like with this, I think it's so great that they add deep options and light options, and I would definitely get the deeper options because I like more depth in my mattes. And all of the shimmers are kind of like medium toned, and they're all like sort of jewel toned, and I kind of love that. But at the same time, I feel like all the palettes are similar, and you kind of like, I wouldn't have known which one to get if I was going to get just one of these. It's just really hard to like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like sure they will look great together, but I'm not going to pay, what is it for the whole bundle? $100 to get all 3 when I only want like some of the mattes. So if you've been here before, you know that I love sparkly things, and these are like, sure they're metallic and some of them are duochrome, but they're not like especially sparkly. So I don't think I would be happy with just playing with this palette alone, so I probably wouldn't have use for these shimmers. So maybe if we're lucky they will release some of these as singles, because they have some amazing mattes in these palettes. So that is kind of tempting, but at the same time I'm like, no, I'm not getting this. But I've been filming for a long time already. I do have a few more releases I could have talked about, but I just feel like this is the perfect time to end. And yeah, I hope that you liked this video, and I think it was really fun to like talk about some of my opinions on new makeup. So if you did like this video and you want me to do another new makeup releases, or make like this something I do every, I'm not going to do it every week, I don't have time for that, but maybe like every month or something, or every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, then leave a comment down below and let me know if you're interested in me making this video more regularly, because I might be interested in doing that, but only if you're interested in watching. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please give me a comment down below also about what kind of releases you are interested in from this, because I was interested in a few and I'm curious what you are interested in. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content from me. Thanks for watching. Bye!